Okay, I'm outside. I'm just gonna take you all along on a little journey with me. I don't know how good this video is going to come out, but I know it's probably going to be a little botchy because I'm trying to be private at the same time because I don't want people randomly popping up at my house. But this plant, family, right? This is a big plant. This plant was back there stuck in my sacred space for a little over 3 weeks, right? It took a terrible beating. Look, the only thing that saved it is it was like bunched up by a window. And but when I'm telling you it was in a tight squeeze, it was really in a tight squeeze, family. Look at this, right? I have a pole in here. This is my like the people do the moss poles, but this is not my moss. This is actually cocoa coil, right? That's the cocoa coil. So I'm going to show you what I'm going to do, and I don't even know because I don't even have my tripod. It's kind of hard because that too is in an area where I can't really get to much of my things because you all know that I'm doing renovation in my home. So it's kind of hard for me to do some things right now, but I'm gonna try to record what I can so I can put content on the channel so that I can share some things with you all. So in the meantime, right, we are going to give this plant, I'm going to give this plant some TLC. You all can see this plant is not the best, it's not in the best condition. Like I said, it was sitting there for about a little over 3 weeks. It was bunched up in the window. That's the only thing that I think pretty much saved it, is that it was sitting near the window, so it was able to get a little bit sunlight, but still it was smushed up. I mean, they like put the cabinets all above it, you know, all surrounding it. So so this is what I'm going through now, family. So it took a pretty good beating. So I'm getting ready to unravel it, take it down, unravel it, give it some TLC. Here's the supplies I'm going to show you all. So these are all the supplies that I will be using as far as giving it some TLC right about now. This will come in this bottle right here. Is my little concoction that I use, right? It's a little concoction that I use for my plants. And I'm gonna clean my plants down, wash it down, give it a good soaking with the hose. And on top of that, I am going to give it some nutrients. So that's why you see that worm casting tea right there. I'm going to give it that, right? Because a plant that big, it needs that. It needs that TLC. So let me get started with taking this down. So I'm going to take all the, you know, I'm going to remove all of this from the plant because it has to, I need it to breathe. I need my plant to breathe right about now, right? It has been tied up for so long in that area, bounded for so long. So let's get this started. All right, I'll bring you all back because I'm working with one hand right now once I get this all unraveled. Okay, so what I have done so far is I have taken all the tie backs down from here. So right now this is just capable of just falling over, right? Because there's nothing really to hold it. So as you can see, it's just spreading its wings right now. Spreading its beautiful wings. I really got to get into here, and I probably want to take a few leaves down, right? For instance, right here, look at this, right? This somehow has snapped, right? And I think it did that in the process of us moving it as well, even being bunched up, right? It has done that. So I have some few leaves that I just want to take off of it because it will grow. This is a Philodendron Giganteum, right? So in case I didn't say the name in the beginning, which I doubt I did, but this is a Philodendron Giganteum. And I may be pronouncing the name incorrectly because I do that. But I'm going to give this some TLC. So right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to soak this plant. I'm going to saturate it. But before I saturate it, I want to take a few leaves down off of here. Unfortunately, you all probably can't see me do all that because I don't have a way of propping this. I'm trying to see what I can use to prop this. I don't really have anything to prop this. So let me see, because some of the things I probably could just snap and you all can see, right? For instance, this need to go out. And one thing I love to do, family, is I'll be cleaning. Look how it's leaning, because there's no stability here, right? I'm gonna need two hands instead of using one hand to hold this. I created this pole here myself, but it's just leaning because it needs to be stabilized. So I need to get up in here and I need to stabilize this plant much better. So anyway, one thing I'm gonna say is I love to do, before I get to this point, one thing I love to do is I love to do things outdoors if I can, right? If I can do my plants outdoors, I love to. It's only permitted in the spring and summertime that I can really do it when the weather's really nice, and that way I can basically you know, throw all the cuttings down here into my grass. So that's one thing, right? It all goes back into nature. So that's what I do, is like compost, right? So let me get into this. Okay, so I actually found something to prop this recording device on, but the only thing is with that is it's not high enough for me to really angle it up. It won't allow me to angle it up. So for right now, I'm going to hold this in place while I water it, and I'm going to show you all. This is what I'm going to do, right? Just give it a little watering. And I had to put this up to stake it up. Hold on, let me put this hose higher. All right, I had to turn on the water. I had to turn the water higher. So as you all can see, this is what I'm doing. Just saturating this hole up here, right? Saturating the leaves, saturating in there, right? You need a good watering. Saturating in here, right? It needs this water. It really does, family. It has not, as you all can see, I try to stake it up a little bit just so it could be balanced because it was falling over. But most of these leaves I'm going to chop down, not worried about it, because it is going to grow. It's going to grow better, right? Okay. Just me. Not giving it, I'm not handling it the best right now because I'm operating out of one hand while I'm holding the camera and filming with the other. But just want to give it a good soaking in here, and while I'm cleaning out in here and washing it down, it could drain. It will drain. So it needs that good soaking. So it will drain down. As you all can see, it's well drainage, right? I have my soils always well drainage as well. So you all can see that how it's soaked with water and how fast it drains through, but it's thirsty as well. In the 3.5 weeks, I was able to at least pour some water, but I couldn't really tell if it was getting enough or not, because it's hard for me to see in that little corner the way it was squeezed up. All right, now let me go around and do a good cleaning. So much water for one plant, right? Okay, now let's get into this. And I'm just going in here and try to like this right here, this is gone, right? Make sure that when you use your shears or whatever you call them, make sure that you cleanse them first, because you don't want to give your plants any kind of bacteria or anything like that. So make sure you clean it with some make sure that you all clean it, right? This spray that I'm getting ready to use on it, family. Yes, I'm chopping off some of these leaves. The spray that I'm getting ready to use on it is going to help it. Like, you see these open areas, right? We want to heal it. So you want to put some peroxide or something on this, right? To stop the bacteria, any spread of bacteria or anything like that. But I do have some spray that I spray it with, and it you know, takes care of all that. That's my little concoction that I have going on. Okay. Yeah, some of these leaves has took a pretty big beating, and some of them I just have to do away with. Although I hate to, right? We hate to cut our leaves back. We hate to do this, but, you know, for instance, look at this beautiful leaf, but it has to go. All right, so far it looked like I only needed to clip about six leaves. So spray my little concoction that I have going on. That's going to help, right? For any bacteria or anything like that. This will take care of it. This right here, this took a pretty big beating. I don't know. I could probably get rid of this as well, right? Because it'll just leave space once I clip this for more to grow in, right? Won't have to suck up so much of that energy. So I'm gonna go ahead and clip that off as well. Yes, we hate to see some of these leaves, but it's needed sometimes. So I'm gonna go ahead. Go ahead and get rid of this leaf. Alright, went ahead and got rid of that. Trust me, I know some of you are probably wondering, why is she doing that? Don't cut it, but it leaves, it makes it better in the long run. Trust me, it does. Alrighty, so just cleaning up in here some, right? All right. Yeah, I lost a lot of leaves too, not to mention when they was pulling it out down here. A lot of leaves had dried and died up, right? Wasn't getting enough water that it needed. So let's go ahead and shine this baby up. So this is what I'm using right here, right? I got the neem oil and I got a cloth, and that is what you are going to see me using as far as cleaning my plants, right? I love using neem oil, and it has so many benefits for your plants. Let's see. I know you all can't see much, but for instance, here's my cloth. Put a little bit of neem oil on here. That's what you want to do, right? a little bit neem oil. Now you want to take your leaf and just, you see that? Just clean it. This also help with bugs. If you guys have any bugs, it'll stop these bugs. It'll give it the shine. So if you need shine, right? Look at that leaf. Look how beautiful that leaf look now, right? It'll give it the shine that it needs. It'll also stop the bugs, right? I'm telling, ooh, baby, no. Oh, sorry. All right, I ripped that leaf, right? They are very fragile. It's very fragile because some of these are new leaves that has come in. Hello, good morning.
How are you?
Good, and you?
I'm good.
Okay, so I have gotten to every leaf and every stem up here, family. I have basically cleaned every leaf off, every single leaf, right? It takes time and patience. Front and back I have done. I have cleaned all of these stems here, so everyone is clean, right? I have done every single one of them. Like I said, front and back. Look at this new baby coming through. Ooh, I have a few. This one right here is broken. I really need to take this off because this is going to die anyway, right? It is broken. I'm just going to take it off. Yes, I hate to lose this. This is a new leaf. Basically, this is one of the new leaves that had come in. I hate to lose it, and we hate to do these things, but it's going to die off anyway. It has broke up here, right? So it's not going to survive anyway, right? So I'm just going to go ahead and cut this back and take care of that. That's another thing. If it's not, you know, family, there's no need to hold on to leaves that we know are dying because it's just sucking up the nutrients from the other leaves that need it. So we need to be doing that. Also for photosynthesis, we need to be cleaning our leaves, keeping them clean. So when the sun rays hit them, they get that energy, right? And them nutrients from the sun. So it needs it. So it's good to clean your leaves, keep your leaves clean. You can use a cloth, a paper towel, right? Some people use a sponge, whatever is to your liking. So every one of them is clean. This is one of the older leaves, right? So each one of them are clean, like I said, and each one of these are wiped down. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to stake it back up I'm going to give it just a little feeding of my you know, my casting, my worm casting tree. I'm just going to give it a little feeding of that. But I have saturated it with water. I'm going to give it a little feeding of that enough, just small enough for it to retain so it won't go down the bottom, but large enough, you know, a good amount for it to basically hold on to those nutrients in there. So that's what I'm getting ready to do now. Yes, the plant looked crazy now. It was so full after I had it growing so vigorously and lovely. But like I said, it was secluded for like those 3 weeks, and it wasn't, you know, get in the room that it needed, get in the air that it needed, right? Not getting TLC, not being turned, right, to give it the sunlight that it need in all areas. So, you know, not to mention the leaves was getting dusty, it was dirty, and it's things that needed to take place that I wasn't giving it during that time because I wasn't able to get to it for like over 3 weeks. But now it's going to come along. So I'm going to keep you all updated on this plant, right? We're going to take a look back and see how this plant is doing. Good morning, how are you?
Good, how are you doing?
Good. So that is what we're going to do, right? My neighbors is probably saying, what is she doing out there with a camera and recording? What is she doing, right? But anyway, let me get this staked up. I'm so saddened that I can't really hold this in place and let you all see me stake it up, right? Because I'm only working with one hand, and this table that I have sit here, sat here, it's not it's very low, so it's not putting it at the angle that I wanted to put it at, and I'm trying to do the best I can right now. I will be trying to get my tripod back there that I can use as far as putting this on so I can navigate it much better, right? So for my future videos going forth, I will be doing that. Okay, so it's all staked up, right? Look at that. It's all staked up. Some of the leaves that I didn't stake in there, and that's for a reason. You want to be careful. You don't want to pull these too much because you don't want to risk breaking them stems. So it's not pulled in all the way, but it is staked up for the most part, and that's how it's going to look. This spot is bare. It still have babies growing in over here. I have some new leaves trying to come through over here and back here behind there. So now I'm going to give it the feed in. So this is actually the water with the casting in it, the worm casting. I'm getting ready to give this plant a heavy feeding, and what I mean by a heavy feeding is that this is more than the recommended dose as far as the ratio from the casting, the worm castings to the water. Okay, so this is a higher concentration. I'm not going to tell you what dosage that I use because it may not be recommended for you to use it for your plants, and I don't want your plants to take a hard beating, because if you you know, if you give it too much, it can also like damage your roots and your plants and so forth. This plant could sustain what I'm getting ready to give it now. Not only that, it needs a heavy feeding. Okay, it needs a heavy feeding right now. So this is a natural feeding for it, but I'm getting ready to just give it a little bit, because don't forget that do not forget that I have already watered it. So I'm just going to give it a little bit of, and that's what you do, just give it a little bit. And that's it. And that's how much I gave it. It's not much watering that I gave it, right? But that's all the feeding that it needs. And that's it. My plant is done. It got some TLC. I got to talk to it. I got to love oil on it. I got to touch oil on it. I got to oil it down, right? I got to give it a good watering, a good soaking. I got to feed it. I gave it a lot of TLC, and I'm going to sit it out here on my porch, let the sun rays hit it. So when the sun is getting ready to come up on this side now, so I'm going to leave it on my porch, let it get some good sunlight, and later on this evening I will pull it back into the house. So that's what I will do, right? So later on this evening I will pull this back into the house, but I'm going to let it sit out here and soak up a lot of this sun. The sun, as you all can see, look at the sun coming up right on this side. So it's getting ready to start shining on this side. So I'm just in time, right? My plant is just in time. Got this nice bathing, and I'm going to let it soak up some of this sun. Not too much, because the sun is not too hot right now. But I'm going to let it soak up as much sun as it can, and then I'll bring it indoors. Unfortunately, with this plant, I'm going to have to do that for the next several days. I'm going to have to, because with all the construction in the spot that it sits in, that it usually sits in, that spot is occupied with other things. So what I'm going to have to do with this plant is I'm going to have to bring it out during the day, let it soak up some of the sun, and then bring it back in the house before, you know, before nightfall. The reason why I do that is I don't really like my plants to be out overnight. I know my mother, when she do my porch, she put plants out, so she will do that. I generally don't like to do that because I hate the bugs and the insects getting into it. And then when I bring it indoors after the season is over, I have to, you know, go through all my plants, right? Because I don't like to see the bugs crawling out of it. So that's what usually go on. Yes, bugs can still get into it at this rate, but it's going to be different because at night, overnight, the bugs really look for a hiding spot, right? So they look for where they could settle in, and then they'll come up during a certain time during the day. So I don't really want to leave it out. But there's my babies. Look at it. It's all staked up. And that's it, family. I want you all to have a blessed day.